What's the most inconvenient trait about yourself? Overthinking. That sometimes led to inaction. I'm very indecisive. When there are too many choices, I get overwhelmed and give up. Too clingy. Extremely fearful of abandonment. I'm so forgetful. Things slip my mind the moment I enter a new room. I feel like Dory. I get distracted really easily. Actually, right now I'm taking a 5-minute break from my schoolwork that's now a 30-minute break. Edit. Thanks for my first silver. I never knew this comment would blow up. I hate vulnerability emotional-wise. So I never open up and I'm scared I'll hurt relationships because of it. Edit. Hey. Wanted to reply to everyone but I can't do that RN. I think we all know bottling up something will never end well. But doing so may result in someone spitting in our face. Hence we never take that leap of faith. So here's to finding somebody we can take that leap to the other side with. I'm sure they'll be one out of the thousands we will meet in this lifetime. Lazy. So very lazy. And I overeat constantly, it's so hard to stop. Also there's very little self-esteem and a tendency to people please. Depression. Self-isolation. My existence is inconvenient really. Acne. It's all over my back. Not the end of the world but it's annoying. I absolutely hate confrontation. And on top of that I'm a people pleaser. Not a good combo. Overthinking. I know others have their own lives. I know people are just worried about themselves. And that doesn't mean they hate me. Yet I always find a way to think that I did something wrong or that I made someone upset. I get lost in my vicious circle of overthinking and often find myself tearing up because I'm afraid that I'm hated. Luckily, a combination of medication and remembering all of the kind and loving things that are said to me is helping me. It's not completely gone, so it's still annoying but I'm getting better. Sometimes I know what I want to say but when I go to say it, it all comes out at once and I end up talking absolute. Which then makes me anxious and talk faster. Really up some job interviews because of it. I hate, loathe, despise and detest myself. Anyone who thinks otherwise I'm immediately suspicious of and treat accordingly. My tendency to never try anything unless I can be guaranteed to be instantly good at it. That sure hasn't worked out so well in life. Hating every sound of every other person close to me. Breathing, talking, laughing, etc. I hate it. My indecisive nature. Or maybe being fat. I can't decide. I'm an introvert and prefer to not talk, but I learned that people assume I'm arrogant or mean. Particularly coworkers. So I force myself to chat even though I hate it. I have to twice every morning. Once within 15 minutes of getting up. And then once again within an hour. I'm really stupid. I've considered a mental retardation test. I can't do anything halfway. Or balanced. It's all or nothing. Total excess or absolute zero. Well I like say like the words and like a lot. Like even when I'm like writing. Not sure whether it's the clumsiness or the forgetfulness or the other thing I can't remember right now that is also super annoying. Probably best if I just leave it as the ADHD. I always think people don't like me or they're mad at me, so I reach out constantly for reassurance and I feel like I come off as selfish. I'm working on it every day though. I get big ideas and start working on them. Then quit 10 minutes in. Also I'm only smart when I don't really need to be. I have terrible conversation skills. I meet lots of cool people and I would love to be able to get past "how are you," but I usually draw a blank and then it feels awkward. I'm pretty bad at texting people I've known for years too. I have a very long torso. It's hard to find shirts that fit well. I grew up in a house that yelling was how we spoke. Think George Constanza's parents. I sound angry when I'm not all the time. Overthinking. All day. Every day. I'm so hard-headed that I rarely listen to anyone's advice, including my own, and I'm extremely rash. Rushing into things is my forte. I always start doing something with a lot of excitement. Eventually I just lose interest and I'm not able to finish it. I joke around too much sometimes. Humor is a way for me to deal with emotions and anxiety. But sometimes I don't know when to stop and I end up joking around at times I should be serious. I can tell it bugs people. And it's something I'm working on. But it's not easy. I fall too hard. Too fast. For everyone, friends. Girlfriends. Jobs. I get easily captivated. My social ineptness mixed with my thirst for knowledge. What did you say? You're triggered by this gory picture? Yes. Oh my god, that's so cool. What's it like? Always the wrong thing to say at the wrong moment. I'm incredibly direct and I believe in talking things through. I am not unusually. Just not afraid to share where I stand when asked or provoked. I have tact. I just believe the truth is usually better. Basically the ADHD. Terrible memory? Check. Constantly zone out? Check. Inability to focus on what I want? Check. Executive function problems? Check. Impulsivity that causes me frequent issues? Check. Other comorbid issues cause my stupid brain likes to mess stuff up? Check. I have sudden bursts of motivation, then it goes away. It sets me up to being sort of good on numerous skills but composing an overall mediocre human being. I have some sort of stomach problem where I am almost always nauseous for an average of 20 minutes after I have eaten a meal. Stress also triggers my nausea, which makes all stressful and demanding situations a challenge. Being asexual. Can't relate to anybody I know, and now I don't have any close friends cause for some reasons not being interested in makes you too weird for everybody. I cry when I'm angry or frustrated. Can't seem to limit the overly emotional response. Scoliosis. Actually, that's a side effect of the real inconvenient trait. My right leg is longer than my left. My anxiety. I have agoraphobia. But also anxiety in general. I overthink things to the point I always feel like I say something wrong. Then I'll ask the person about it and convince myself I have. And then I end up in a depressed state because I'll push the person away because I feel like I'm too much of a burden on them or that they don't care. I have a fear of getting ditched. It terrifies me and I don't know what I would do. So apparently I have a good personality? But I'm very clingy. Not a bug turn on for girls. Getting better at pushing it out though. By the way, not like controlling clingy. Just like I think about them a lot and want to talk to them all the time. Extremely annoying trait of mine. Temper. But only with certain things. I don't want to list them as it would look like a virtue signal the size of the bat signal. But they really get me up to 11 in an instant, and I have to be very conscious of it because it is often followed by guilt and apologies due to what was a disproportionate response. Working on it. I am extremely tall for my age. Most doorways and light fittings are too low, so I bang my head a lot. It looks strange when I'm out with friends as I am at least 1.5 feet taller than them. I also look much older than them. My chronic migraines. They interfere with every aspect of my life and an attack can last months, which results in near total isolation. Yes. I have a neurologist. No. The medications and other remedies have not worked. I'm so lazy. I say no to snacks when I would visit someone's house out of politeness even though I was starving. I did the same with drinks. For example, my friend's ma'am would tell me I can help myself to any drinks I wanted, but I just wouldn't unless my friend did too. I have a third nipple. Which I guess is fairly common? It's hard for me to lie. But sometimes you have to. It really hurts my soul every time when I need to do something like that. Not OCD but OCD tendencies. I have to gather all the loose shopping carts around me at the store and straighten the crooked carts in the cart corral. No matter what the weather is. I cannot stand when lazy people leave their carts. My husband has started cranking the car and threatening to leave me there to make me stop. I'm anxious about anything and everything. Stomach pain? Cancer. Chest pain. Heart attack. Driving? Gonna crash. I hate it. Crying face. If I look down while in a car, reading a book, looking at my phone, etc., I get car sick. It sucks when acting as navigator and I have to hold my phone at eye level. Sweaty hands. Handshakes are awkward. Fingerprint readers don't like me. Holding gaming controllers gets gross, uncomfortable, etc. I'm overly sensitive and probably empathetic to the point it's unhealthy. I'll read an article, tweet or watch a TV show about something ever so slightly sad and tear up. It happens several times a day. It's very emotionally draining. Being overly blunt or stubborn. That and not asking for help when clearly I need help. Bonus. My boss telling me I have too much integrity and I care too much. Quote. I constantly second-guess myself because I'm worried about everything up. This has led to me constantly worrying about small things. Being extremely stubborn and hard-headed. It's both my best and most inconvenient trait.